All right. In the last lecture, we looked at a little bit of theory, and I promise that'll be the last of it. So that's it. In this one, we'll be diving into how to do RAG, hands-on RAG, and we'll be using H2O GPTe, so Enterprise H2O GPT for that. So let's get started. Again, please remember these environments are always being updated, and these apps might look slightly different for you. So it's always a good idea to check the notes of this course as to how to access the correct link and where to go from there. So let me share my screen to H2GPTe. And you can see this is the home page of the application. What I'm going to do now is click on new collection on top right. And I'll title this H2O GPT paper. I'll create this collection now. That's because I'm going to upload the H2O GPT research paper here. And I've just added it and I let it pre-process. So now what H2GPT is doing is it's taking this document and it's parsing and chucking the file, effectively storing it. This obviously is very much overkill for this task, but please understand that when you're doing RAG, you're doing it over tens of thousands of documents. So that's where this becomes really impactful and sort of useful to have these pre-processing steps being done. As you can see, it only took about 17 seconds to process one PDF, one paper. So now what I can do for a quick test is I can start a chat right here to chat with that PDF or chat with my collection of documents, or I can do it programmatically. So we'll do it programmatically. And for that, I'd head over to settings on the left tab and I'll create a new API key. I'll not select any settings here. I can give it a name if I want. I'll name it hands-on training and I'll generate this new key. From here, I'll copy this key over and head over to the notebook. Now, please remember the notebooks might slightly look different for you, or the way to access them might be different for you. So please check the course notes once again to remind you all. So what we're going to do now is import H2GPTe's Python package. And I've minimized these few cells because these are your homework. And in this homework, you'll see what you have to do. I'll come back to it later. So what I'm going to do now is do some question answers over the file I've just uploaded. Please note that this URL and key might be different for you. So please pay attention while you're working with it. This is the API key that I had copied earlier. I've listed all of the collection of documents I've created and I can see H2GPT paper comes out on top. So now let me copy this name over and put it over here in the collection name and let's just print the collection ID. So what I've done earlier is I've listed all of the recent collections that were created in H2GPTe. And here I've put in the name of the collection we're interested in working with. So that was H2GPT paper. And from here, I'm asking it to grab the ID of this particular collection. So you can see it grabbed the correct ID. If I'm manually matching it, it does look correct. So let's continue from here. I manually typed in a few queries here, which are please summarize this paper, give me a write up for a LinkedIn post about the paper, and in bullet points, state its impact. So let's run this cell and then send these queries over to H2GPTe. Now it's going to look at all of these queries, look at the document, and answer using a LLM with the relevant parts of the document. So it usually takes a few seconds. Please give it those few seconds while it comes back. So you can see it's given a nice summary of the paper. It discusses the development and release of H2O GPT, which was a model developed by us, our team. And you can see some more details around it. So that's a nice crispy summary, if I may. Let's see if it can answer the write-up for a LinkedIn post about the paper. I mean, I'm not saying this, but this does look like a lot of LinkedIn posts that have been popping up, right? So maybe people are using H2GPT for all that stuff. Maybe you should as well. But here's a possible LinkedIn post. and it's written a quite nice post. I quite like the style. It has some emojis in there, and it's I have read the paper, of course, so even glancing on it, it does look quite detailed. It also has a suggestion at the end to follow the account, and it's not messed up this link. So if you actually click on this link, since this is being given out from RAG, you'll see that it actually is able to grab the correct link. I want to point this out because many a times you'll see a lot of LLMs hallucinating links, but that's not the case because we're using a LLM here. And finally, I've asked it to provide its impact in bullet points. And you can see it's given me 10 nice bullet points here. So that's how you interact with H2O GPTe programmatically. Now I'm leaving the rest as an exercise to you, but I'll walk you through what's your homework. So here's the homework for this module. I'm going to scroll up to the cells I had hidden, and you have two options: either download your own LinkedIn profile, or since you all might have seen Andrea from our team earlier across all of our courses, I'd suggest you can download her profile if you like. So LinkedIn allows you to click on more button next to any profile and download the profile as a PDF. The task here is to upload that as a new collection and then ask questions over it. So if I scroll back down, you'll see that the queries here were actually designed for this homework task. So your task is just to run through all of this. And later on, you'll see some prompt engineering as well. So we improve our prompt from earlier. We actually then also set a system prompt and then change our queries further to improve our prompt engineering. So as a homework, please run through this. And I'd invite you all to also check out the extended tasks here. Try uploading multiple documents, try uploading 10 PDFs, let's say, and try asking more questions. So just to summarize, in this module, we learned how to interact with H2O GPTe, how to upload your documents there, and how to programmatically perform RAG over them. So this was lab one, RAG. Please do your homework before clicking on the next lab, because doing homework will be helpful in your quizzes, which is helpful in your certificate. In the next lab, we'll take a look at how to create your own GenAI app.